Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jason Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today Thrift Time and Finds Volume 21, and I am super stoked. Reason being, you can tell by the picture on the video, the Goodwill is open. So, interesting story about the Goodwill. I have been going by there a couple different times, at least to the local one, and I've been calling just to see when it was going to reopen. So, in my state, we have 4 stages, or 4 phases rather, to us getting back to a new normal, as they're going to call it, from the ongoing healthcare crisis. So, during phase 2, from what the Goodwill was saying over the phone on a pre-recorded message, they were going to try to reopen at some point during that time. So each phase, and this phase, of course, is no different. It's about 3 weeks or a month or something like that, and the new phase will start as long as the infections don't go up and the hospitalizations don't go up. So for us, we got through phase 1, and now we're on to phase 2 because those have met the criteria according to the governor's plan. And I live in Massachusetts, so it may vary between every state, because I know a lot of folks will watch a lot of my videos between multiple different states and places that I live. So, excuse me, just to keep that in mind. So yesterday was no different. I want to take it back a few videos ago. So, what was I going to say? Wow, I'm having a moment here. Let me think. It's really early. I typically record these videos a lot later at night. So, because of everything that's going on, how busy I am, bear with me. I'm really trying. And now I'm actually more used to being up earlier, but I'm more tired during the night, so I don't know how this is really going to work. But anyway, I don't know if that was necessary, but hey, what are you going to do? So, about a week or 2 ago, you'll see it on some of my videos, I stated that I saw some folks in the Goodwill, locally to me, doing some what looked like to be deep cleaning. And they typically will clean, but not that type of cleaning. I could tell by the machine they were using and, you know, just the space that was in there from when I remember it before, that they must be cleaning to get ready for reopening during phase 2. So that was in the middle of phase 1. Fast forward to yesterday, or should I say fast forward the day before. It's Monday. Phase 2 has officially begun for the state of Massachusetts. I go by, I look right in the window because I've learned that I don't have to go up to the whole store. It just takes a few more moments out of my time that I don't really have, and I still see the big sign. So, obviously new, judging by the lights, no folks in the parking lot, and a few other things I'll get into in a minute. They weren't open yet. So, I go by there yesterday, and typically, during the last, about 3 months, most folks that go to the Goodwill and before actually will park on this side, which is meaning the Goodwill is right there. Another retailer is right next door. Those folks have been parking to this side typically. So what we've seen is this pretty much empty, and this was, a few cars. So yesterday, I saw a few cars and I was like, okay. So there's a few cars, maybe they're just doing some more preparations for preparing to reopen. And I look to my right. I go, that is a trailer that says Goodwill on it. Now typically, I know it could be different for a lot of other places, maybe for the bins. I'm not 100% sure, I'm still learning, but typically, I've never seen an 18-wheeler parked for a Goodwill inside that parking lot, so that kind of caught my eye as well. Now, mind you, I've got other stuff that I have to do throughout the day. Not important stuff, just trying to get out, get some fresh air, maybe go visit a big box retailer, which, trust me, got plenty more videos planned for hopefully this week. But I see that and I go, okay. So I see some folks that work there, because I know most of the folks that work there, because I go there an awful lot during the week, at least before the pandemic started. So I see them out there and I go, okay, so maybe they're just, doing their thing with the sanitation and cleaning, and that's something they need to do. I don't know. And then I look directly in front of me, and at the door, I notice that sign is no longer there. I go, okay. So they must be getting closer. Now, mind you, this is all in a matter of less than a minute. But I felt like forever watching it, right? Because time kind of slows down for us when we're really trying to focus on something. It's a really strange thing that happens. But anyway, I saw somebody come out, and clearly they did not work there. They were a customer. And I saw the bag in the customer's hand. Let me tell you, I whipped into that parking lot so fast, of course being safe and putting on my blinker and everything like that because I don't want to cause an accident, but in my mind, I was like blown away that I just may have that opportunity to go in. And I know it's kind of a silly thing, but I think things like, for me personally, the Thrift and a few other things that I do are positive ways to get out of our life and what's going on right now. It's kind of an escape in a way. So I like to be able to find things that are cheap. I like to be able to find some nonsense. You know, I love my nonsense. And of course, video games, movies, and stuff like that, etc., etc., etc. So I go in. I jump out the car, and I know I'm going play-by-play here. We're like calling a football game right now, or whatever, I don't know. But I was super excited, and I'm still super stoked, and I can't wait to go today. So I get out, I take a look in. It looks fairly different, but at the same time, it looks very much the same. So I see on the right, the store manager that's typically there. I see on the left, one of the clerks that typically will ring me up, along with a few other ones. So, whoa, it's open. But until I actually open that door and it does not kick back and go, no, closed, I'm not believing it. Well, sure as shit, I open up the door, boom, yes, the Goodwill is open. Mind blown, a million types of different emotions ran through my mind because I've been waiting so long to be able to go back to there. Before they actually closed it, a week before, I think April it was, they officially closed it on April 6th, but I wasn't going there a lot. If you look at any of my past videos and you enjoyed the channel, and I hope you do, you will see why I don't want to talk about that every single video, because I think it's been discussed, and I think that, you know, for me personally, for the channel, we have to move forward. We've got a lot of great things going on out there, but if you're interested into why I haven't been there before, then check out some of my other videos, particularly a special update from the House of Fun and Video Games. That will explain a lot what was going on with me at the time personally. So, I haven't been there in almost 3 months. Open the door, go in, say hi to everybody. They're glad to see me back because I am a frequent flyer through there. I'm always very courteous, very professional. I always get into great conversations with them, whether it's in regards to the items they have, or why I'm buying it, or what interests me and stuff like that. They're just all around good folks. So, of course, I go right over to the DVD and CD and video game section. I look to my left before I go over there and notice a lockbox. Now, this lockbox doesn't typically have an awful lot of things that interest me. It's usually just jewelry, wallets, watches, da-da-da-da. But every once in a while you'll find an NES game in there, or maybe some camera equipment, something that's kind of expensive. That's typically what lockboxes are for, because those are the most likely items to be shoplifted. I noticed there's nothing in there, and of course, with the ongoing pandemic, the reason why that wouldn't be in there, at least from my understanding, is because if it's in there and it can't be sanitized on a consistent basis, or at least when it needs to be, then obviously there's a higher risk of infection from the virus. So clearly I understand that they're probably not going to be using the lockbox much, but I haven't really dabbled in there. I just take a quick peek here and there, and sometimes I have missed things, and I really kick myself in the butt about it, but you know, it is what it is, right? I try to make sure that I look at that more often, and I'm going to have to retrain myself once I actually use that to do that again. So it's kind of like going back to one, right? So I go over, look at the movies. From what I remember, it looked like most of the movies that were there before. There was some new stuff. There was also some video games as well. So I got a video game there, I got 2 movies, and I got something for Cynthia. So go through, take a peek. There were a couple other video games, but unfortunately, you guessed it, they were empty. I did get one for the Wii, which I'm pretty excited for, and I can't wait to go over these things with you. Now, as I'm going through the rest of the store, typically, I've told you in the past, I look underneath things for nooks and crannies. People just hide things, or somehow things get there, I don't know. I've found things in every part of that building, and it's usually stuff video game related, or maybe a couple of cool movies. I've seen like a pretty diesel stack of movies before they were really good, tucked behind a window behind a sign, and I don't know. Maybe just somebody waiting for it to go on half off or a portion. Like they do in every Goodwill, they have different strategies in regards to reduction of price. So in this one in particular, It's usually a color change, which I didn't see the sign up, so I'm assuming they haven't been open for a while. That won't be going on. But in most of them that I've seen throughout, all the different Thrift videos that I watch out there, it can be a lot different. But for mine, it's color change. So color change will be 50% off. Blue will be 25% off. This usually goes between 25 and 50. And it typically changes every week. So I'm running through, and obviously I knew that they were in there deep cleaning for the obvious reason. So I just gave a look because it's just forced to have it, right? So I look underneath and I don't see anything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I run through the rest of the store, I look at the books. There's always some kind of interesting things there. I found some Super Mario Brothers cartoons DVDs there at some point in time, over the course of the videos I've shot, and it was just tucked in. It's just people like to put things in strange places. When I've watched the employees, when they put stuff away, they're all very kind and courteous, and they also always try to keep things organized, but as you know, people will just put things wherever they want. It's just human nature. So I try not to be like that, but hey, what are you going to do? It's part of business. So I didn't see anything through there. I saw a couple interesting books. Again, I'm not really interested in books per se, but every once in a while we'll dabble in something that catches my eye to read into, whether it's video game related or maybe just history related. And I didn't see anything through there. And then of course I went over to the electronics wall. No video game systems or nothing were there. There are a couple of cool TVs. I'm not really looking to get any more TVs at this point. A couple of VCRs, what I am on the lookout for, and it's going to be extremely crazy. One of the things I've been looking for is a Laserdisc player, because I'm kind of interested in collecting Laserdisc at some point. But I'm looking for a very particular one. It's extremely rare and it's extremely expensive. I almost was going to go for one on eBay. It was priced at $8.95, which is a lot. That's a lot to spend on one item for me. And I was trying to work out a deal with the person to make it more feasible. But again, I understand the rarity of the item. And it didn't end up working out, which was okay, but it was cool to see because I've only seen maybe one or two videos that I've at least searched for in regards to that item. So I believe it was from Pioneer, and the Laserdisc itself plays Laserdisc, it plays compact discs. For those of you who don't know, those are CDs, which typically carry music on them. They can also carry video on them as well. It just depends on the type of data exchange or whatever, if it's called CDR, I don't know. That's technical stuff, I'm not good with that, okay? So also on there, you could play your Sega CD and your Sega Genesis. So at one point in time, I believe it was Pioneer. If it's not, what am I going to do? I do know it was something. So you think about it like right here, it looks like a regular DVD or a laser display. It's a little bit bigger. And then right on the bottom here, it would have where you can put in the cartridges and where you can put in the Sega CDs. So for whatever reason, I want a Laserdisc player. And if I'm going to get one, that's the one I'm going to get. So of course, the whole point of bringing that up is because every time I go in there, I'm not looking for a VHS player, I'm not looking for a DVD player, I'm not looking for a Blu-ray player, I'm looking for that Laserdisc player. That's going to be extremely hard to find, but if you just look at it, it looks like something old that's been there. And on that particular one on eBay, there was a defect on it, not in the operation of the machine according to the seller, but there was a defect on it in regards to the actual physical unit itself. It had a little chip in it, which is not the end of the world. As long as it works, it works. Those things are so hard to find. It's super expensive. If I found one that had a little crack in it, I really wouldn't care as long as it worked, right? So I looked, and that's one of the things I'm looking for electronic-wise. Unfortunately, no dice today. I might even just get a Laserdisc player in general. But they're very hard to come by. I don't see them very often. So go through a couple of the other places, other, random stashes of merchandise and stuff like that on the other side of it. So imagine sitting here, and I wish I had my computer up and running and was able to show you some of the stuff on the GoPro. But check out one of my other videos. I did actually get one in where I could actually use it, so it'll kind of give you a better explanation on why, on what I'm talking about. So I went over to the dishes and where the cups are and everything, because that's something that interests Cynthia. I saw a few cups that looked pretty cool, but I wasn't exactly sure if that's what she was looking for. Maybe a tea set, she likes to collect those as well. And then, of course, she's starting to get a little interested in certain types of Tupperware, like in regards to Corningware and stuff like that, from other YouTube creators that we've seen that have a focus on stuff like that, because she likes to collect that kind of stuff. So I didn't really see anything. I did see one corner where it looked really cool, but luckily I didn't get it because I was like, that lid really doesn't look like it goes to it. Typically, what we've seen with that type of collecting, you don't typically find the lids. For whatever reason, somebody loses their brakes. I can see it's glass, so I mean, it happens, right? It's going from your house to the thrift, getting looked at, and of course now I'm sure there's other things that go with it, within sanitation, being safe for the public. That might happen a lot more, but hey, if we find one with the lid, we'll definitely get it because it's cool, and you know, why not? That's what she enjoys collecting. So didn't find anything there. Was able to check out, having some great conversations with the store manager, great conversations with the clerk that I know very well, at least from going in on outside of there. And of course I left and I was super stoked and I was just blown away. As soon as I left, it looked like the world around me just changed because I saw car after car after car after car just pulling in. The word of mouth got around so quickly because the update to the website didn't happen, but that word of mouth must have got around so quickly. I must have been probably, I don't know, maybe like the fourth or fifth person I would guess that was in there, just judging by how clean it was and how organized it still was, because when people are in there, they, like I said, they disorganize everything, not on purpose, but whatever, I don't know. But you could clearly tell when there's a lot of folks in there, you could clearly tell when there's not. So I was super pumped about that, and I got in there before pretty much almost anybody else did. So I had first dibs, which is very rare for me because of my professional career, and my work schedule could be a lot different depending on the week, the month, the place that I'm at. So let's get into the stuff I found now. Long-winded introduction, but hey, I'm super excited, and I know you folks are out there too, I'm sure. If you're interested in thrifting, let me know in the comment section down below. Has your thrifts opened up yet? Have you been able to find some cool stuff? I've talked to a lot of folks throughout my other videos that have said a lot of their other states have reopened a little earlier than Mass, and they've been able to find some good stuff. So super excited about that, and always looking forward to a great positive conversation as always in the comment section. So let's go over some things that I found at your local Goodwill, or mine rather. So the first one I'm going to go over is a movie, and it's kind of a different movie. It's two movies, and it looks like some sort of, you know, probably not so good horror movie, but it looked pretty interesting from the cover. I took a look at the disc, and this looked like it was in alright condition. These are movies I've never heard about before. It does scan in on my app, so I think it is an official release. It's not some sort of bootleg, but it's got two different movies in it, and the art really interested me. I tried to look for a date on here, or a year when this came out. I have no idea, but still pretty cool. Super excited to add yet another horror movie to the collection. On to the next one. Resident Evil Damnation. Want to make sure I said that right. So I didn't have this, even though I thought I did. Maybe I have the one before. I have a lot of movies, so well over 1,000. If you go through some of my other videos, one of them in particular talks about the collecting apps that I use so I can track these and have a better idea so I don't get doubles, triples, because I've done that before and I've been like, oh my god. I've got like 3 other copies. This is wild. So this is one I didn't have, surprisingly, so super excited to get that. These movies are pretty cool. They're short, but good use of CG, which is rare to say, isn't it? Super excited to add that to the collection. We Play. Now, would I typically go for something like this? I don't know. I think it'd be something cool to play with the family. I haven't really hooked up and played with the Wii too much, but it is complete from what I can tell. It's funny to see instruction manuals in games because nowadays with the newer generations, instruction manuals aren't there unless it's like a get your, you know, day one DLC thing, which usually tucked in where the instructions are. But this is We Play. I've heard it's something that's pretty fun, and it actually uses the motion sensors to its fullest extent. So I'm pretty excited to add that to the collection. I'm not going for any complete collections. I think at one point what I really wanted to do is go for a complete NES collection. I'm still on the fence about a Sega CD one. That's super expensive though, so I just kind of get things that interest me and maybe I'll be able to play. And of course, you know, there'll be other items on my mind as well that may be more expensive, but I just want to get games to be able to play and have some fun with. And of course, once the game room gets done, to sit back and admire my collection, because that's who I am as a person. We all do funny things, and that is my funny thing. At least I think it's kind of funny. Just sit there and go, I don't know why, it just does it for me. So it's one of those things to break yourself out of life for a sec, right? Because life can be a little crazy. The last and final thing I have is this right here. So as you can see with these rubber feet, I think this kind of sits down. This is the thing I got for Cynthia. This thing can sit down in the middle of a table, and I believe because of the way this pot is, or this pot, the way that this plate is, it's ceramic, and I believe you can actually sit something on top of it that's really hot, and it'll kind of just sit down. So if we're at the dinner table and we don't want to go back and forth between the kitchen because it's such a pain in the butt, we could put the pot right there and eat right out of it. So pretty excited about that. I'm pretty sure Cynthia will like it just because of the art design and everything like that. And we do have to give it a good cleaning. And if your question to me would be, because of the ongoing healthcare crisis, how comfortable do I feel about going to the Thrift? I feel fine with it. I have been working throughout the crisis. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends on which way you look at it. For safety reasons, obviously, that might be unfortunately. But everything that I have brought home, we sanitize. We make sure that it's clean so that we can be safe and make the best decision for our household and our family. So I'm not too concerned in regards to that. I've looked into a lot of how long potentially the virus can sit on something. And I know it might make a lot of folks a little uncomfortable out there. And this isn't really something I really dabbled too much on the channel because we all know about it, we all hear about it. And why do we need to hear about it more? Well, just because of that, that's the only thing I wanted to stay on that. I'm fully comfortable getting anything at the Thrift. We always have had a good, regimen, if that's even a word. But again, I could create my own words because it's my vid. We always have a good regimen, like I said, which is completely wrong, of making sure that items that we take home are sanitized and cleaned and anything to that nature. So nothing's really changed. It's just being a little more extra cautious to make sure we're safe for everybody in the household. So what do you guys think, guys and girls, ladies and gents? What was your find of the day, per se? I don't know what mine was. I'm gonna say it's probably this horror movie. I'm not too sure about that Wii game, but it looks to be a lot of fun. And of course, Resident Evil was definitely a second runner-up. And I'm sure Cynthia will like that item that I bought for her as well. So that's it. That's all I got for this video. I did want to go over a few more things and an update to the game room, which I thought about doing in a separate vid, but with time constraints and everything like that, it's just not going to happen. It's a very quick update. So I'm going to show you around. So what has been being done? Lots of stuff's been being done. Is there a big update since last time? No, but there's a cool one. I got floor now. Now this type of floor is the click-in flooring. We're going to end up putting it all the way in there. It feels really good. It's a lot different from what I had before. It's going to go through each section of the room. So pretty excited. One step closer. Now, why did I pick the flooring over the rug? I don't like rug. I never really kept up with it as much as I probably should have. Would I have changed that after what's happened to me now? I could have, but I like the tile. And it's not tile, I mean, I like the flooring. It just feels good. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know in the comment section down below also. What do you think of the tile? I think it looks awesome. And I think once it's all said and done, that'll also be in there as well for the closet. So let me know down in the comment section down below on how you think about the flooring as opposed to rug. I just personally don't like it. I think it builds up too moisture, and I could be completely off. But hey, we all have our opinions, and we're all entitled to it. So one step closer. This flooring should be done within this week. The painting of the walls, as you can see, A lot of them need to be done, are going to be done as well. We'll be doing some stuff to the stairs. Got to add a door there because we don't just want it to be without one. That's already been patched up. Everything's been pretty much patched up. Flooring gets done, ready for painting. And then of course we have the final stuff, which is going to be finalizing the electrical, the sink, the toilet, and then hooking up that awesome shower. So I'm super excited to be able to do that. And the last thing will be this. So I'm actually kind of glad this took, and that will be the washer and dryer, which we have to reorder because during my siege of the game room, check out that vid. I know I'm really pushing it today. Check out that vid to see exactly what this place looked like before and after. It's like mind-blowing. Or videos before that. You get to see the full transformation of this on the channel. So I'm super excited to be able to bring some amazing updates to the game room once it's fully done and ready to go. In regards to what I was saying, the pandemic hit, and that's kind of what caused a lot of this to take a little longer, because this is typically about a month or two project total. This was a little different because of the restoration happened to be in here, you know, obviously with a sewer pipe that gives out. It has a lot of bad stuff in it, like I've said before, so it might have taken a little longer, but you know, I think it's actually more of a convenient thing that, you know, this took a little longer, not for the reasons being, but for the fact that if I actually had this done and ready to go, I might have been able to squeak in every other little thing I really had to get between shelving and the washer and dryer and then the other items as well. But a lot of places that were non-essential for a long time, as you know, because of what's going on, were closed. So I don't know if that necessarily would have been a really good thing for timeliness. It might have actually even taken up to probably a month or two ago. No, about a month ago, we might have been able to get most stuff, but there's still a lot of red tape to go through, and there's still a lot of things to go through, and there's a couple of more inspections that need to be done by the city to make sure that this is safe and sound and we're ready to go. So I don't foresee any issues, and I'm not a professional, so do not hold me to it. I do not see any issues in regards to that getting taken care of, signed off, and ready to go, because the contractors I worked with are very professional, and they're very good and stick to their word, and we haven't had any issues yet. So let me know down in the comment section down below, what do you think? Flooring or carpet? That's a good question. I'd be curious to see what you say. So let's go back to what we always do at the end of each video. Thank you for the 56, yeah, you heard it. I said 56 folks that have subscribed to the channel and watch my videos regularly. My video watching discovery analytics of YouTube has gone back to about half and half. Before it was like all over the place. It's been all over the place for the last couple of months because I haven't really shot a lot of content for the channel, but now it is back to what it was before once we started climbing up in subs. So it's pretty much 50 and I don't know, 45, something like that. The math's kind of a little off, but I'm pretty excited to hear that because that means more folks are viewing my videos, and the folks that have already subscribed are still watching, still commenting, and getting into great conversations. So thank you very much to the 56 folks who have decided to subscribe to the House of Fun and Video Games. If you haven't already and you enjoy this video, I want to see the transformation between what we were before a couple months ago and what we are now. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well, because the next time I post a video about thrifting, or maybe if I get something off of the internet, or maybe if I go to a big box retailer, or hopefully once this is all said and done, game reviews, because I'm looking forward to that. And I got a whole bunch of content in my head that just needs to go in here and then get into your head. You'll be notified of it right away. Also, anything you want to talk about in the comments section, make sure you leave it down below. I've had a lot of great conversations with folks in a lot of my videos in regards to the content. It could be just about anything, but just remember, in my videos, the only thing I'll ask is to have positive conversations. And what do I mean by that? Anything you want, but in a positive way. I don't shoot these videos for anything other than I like it. It's a cool hobby, and I get to reach out to some folks, and we get to have some fun. We get to get into some great conversation, and that's about it. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, comment if you like this video. This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. It's Tuesday, so it's a really weird time because I typically will record videos on a Sunday for whatever reason. But it's Tuesday, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the nice weather out there because it's been pretty nice in Massachusetts. But if you know anything about Massachusetts, if you don't like the weather, you blink, it could be snowing. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.